Hello everyone and welcome to the Art of Teaching Art. Today I'm here to show you how to add watercolour onto a monoprint. So this is the original monoprint, and what I've done is photocopy it onto cartridge paper, onto drawing paper, and that's just because the monoprinting ink on this will smudge if I put watercolour on top of it, and I want to be able to have both pieces to show development by adding colour onto this one. So I've got a range of watercolours here. I've got the kind of school-based tins that you would normally get, and then I've got my Winsor & Newton palette as well. I much prefer the Winsor & Newton, but you just get a range of colours using both. So I'm thinking of just using soft, natural colours with this. So I'm thinking kind of browns. This is a Physalis, so they are orange. And I think I'm just going to go with kind of soft colours, maybe starting with the berry and then working softly outwards. I don't want to cover the whole thing with watercolour, so it's only kind of light touch, as it were. So just going to start generating the colour. I'm going to go with the orange, but I'm also going to get the brown ready as well, just for a little bit of depth. So I'm just going to be using the side of my brush to add a very light wash of colour, using more water to make sure it's nice and transparent. I don't want to add too much, I want it to be nice and soft. So just adding a little bit of the orange. Now using the side of your brush gives you slightly less control, but helps the watercolour to look a little bit freer. I just want it to look nice and soft into that area there. So then I'm going to do the leaves, so I'm going to be working a little bit more with the brown in this case, quite watery, again using the side of my brush. Now this is a laser photocopy, so it's got a little bit of a resist there, which I think usually works quite well, creates a bit more texture in the piece. So again, just using the side of my brush to just glide over. Might add some more depth with the kind of red brick colour here, just adding a little bit of that on and then blending it kind of over. So I'm going to do some kind of sweeps of colour, again just with the side of the brush and water. So we want to add just that very faintest touch of watercolour. We're not aiming for all out colour, especially for this piece. If I was doing something brighter, potentially I would add brighter colours to it. And then to keep in with the tones, adding the darker areas underneath where the shadows are. Again, sweeping with my brush, leaving paper free. So I've added some washes of colour over the top, and now I'm just going to go over and add a few darker details, but I'm just kind of flicking the brush over, allowing it to kind of flow into the piece where I've left the water. Again, having that just element of freedom, the transparency with watercolour, working with the marks already kind of left by the monoprint. It's always worth kind of looking and self-evaluating your piece to just check, rather than saying, oh, I think that's done, just check, is it missing anything? And I think this was definitely missing that brighter orange. So I'm just using the wet on wet technique, so it's wet already, and I'm just adding a little bit of this brighter orange in selected areas. So I'm not putting it all over, just a little bit to just blend in and add those final kind of details. So I've been fairly selective, just with a neutral kind of natural colour palette, but I'm really happy with this. I think that it shows a kind of development from this, and it gives me more ideas to experiment and develop. Thank you so much for watching, and have a really great day.